Hey guys, I'm very sorry Alex isn't available. He's right now in Asia conducting a few meetings. So I've joined in. I'm the head of growth at Bitclave. I've been in the advertising tech industry for the last 8 years now, and know a little. A few loopholes that's one of the reasons I joined Bitclave. And today we're going to discuss about the old internet and the new, which I think is an interesting topic, but it's you guys to decide. So last month, I'm sorry, the GIF is not really working well, but you'll get the context. So last month, I was in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm sure most of you all know Johannesburg is also known as the City of Gold. And I did learn about what's happening there, the history, a little bit about history, since I'm a little inclined towards that. I did learn about the gold rush that happened in the 1880s and how it really changed Johannesburg as a city, South Africa as a country, and it brought everyone on the world map. It was certainly a gold rush. Most of the people who were part of it did benefit. There were huge opportunities in all the areas at that point. And it's not just here in South Africa. South Africa is just an example since I was just there. But there were gold rushes, happening all around the world. In and around those times, for sure. That's something unique, and I just wanted to share that scenario. So hold on to that a bit, and then we did see in the early 90s or the late 80s, we saw this thing called the internet popping up. So Tim Berners-Lee obviously experimented a lot of things. We understood what internet is. At that stage, it was very early. People were learning about it. TCP/IP, SMTP, and all those protocols were just getting promoted at that point. And we saw a lot of companies joining in, getting onto the bandwagon, and talking about internet. Making people aware of what internet is, and so on. I don't know I don't know if you all know. This is a clip or a GIF from the Monday morning show, which was famous at some point. 1995. They were talking about what internet is, what the character @ is, and those little things. It's so weird at that point to kind of get that overview from these people. So I'm just putting some scenarios here. So we'll probably make something out of it in the later part. So we saw this happening. We obviously saw a lot of companies moving towards the internet because of all this talking, because of all people getting involved. And then we saw the bubble, right? Which happened in around 2000. Is that right? 2000. 5 years or 8 years in the internet, and we already have a bubble. And then it burst. There were a lot of companies who got fired, losses and everything. But there were a few survivors. These are a few, for sure. If I've missed, I'm sure. There were a few more as well, I'm sure. But these were a few survivors at that point. But there were way too many losers. And that was interesting. Those were interesting times as well. We are out of that now, right? And then, in around 2007-8, we saw this happening, right? The financial crisis, global financial crisis. We saw huge institutions, bank institutions, companies, IT, everything getting hit by and large by stuff that they've been doing since, 10, 15 years in the industry. So we saw this. Uh, so I'm just drawing a few common factors, both positive and negative, right? In terms of the positives, and let's look back at the 3-4 scenarios I've just mentioned, right? So we had opportunities, financial stability, yes, in few cases. International trade, internet allowed international trade, even gold did. I mean, but there were negative things as well, or challenges, if I put it that way. Inequality, centralized systems, and obviously we still have a lot of entry barriers, right? So, but I mean, for the last scenario that I mentioned, the financial crisis, 2007-8, there was one company or one survivor, so to speak, and that I'll briefly talk about before I jump in what we do, is this company. Do you guys know what this company did? Anyone wants to take a guess? Wild guess? Okay, so while everyone was going in the financial crisis, and it started hitting somewhere in the late 2006. That's where it started. And these guys were aware of what's happening. Not 100%, but yes, they had some clue. So they devised something called SecDB, right, within the organization. And SecDB is nothing but a distributed ledger system, which was, at that point, it wasn't called blockchain technology, but it was called something else. And they just built that, and it was not public, mind you. It wasn't public, it was private within their ecosystem. And it really helped them, or should I say, Goldman Sachs was the only banking institution at that point making money around 2007 and 8. You have a question?
I think that's the main reason that the crisis got, because of them. I mean, they're controlling about 60% of the world money right now, so that's the main reason. They can do what they want.
Yeah, they can certainly do what they want, but to have to take that kind of a move at that point where everyone is falling was a brave choice. I'm sure, like, I don't know how many of you watched the movie The Big Short? How many of you watched that movie? The Big Short. Okay, so even in that movie, there are instances where people have gone against the system and made money against what the government actually failed in terms of the profits or the revenues. So yeah, so Goldman Sachs was one of them. So that's probably an interesting story from that angle. But it really didn't take off. People never said that it is a blockchain technology, it's going to be changing the world or so on. But something happened 6 months later, 6 months after this happened. And I mean, as you're all aware, the reason why we are all here is because of the white paper that Satoshi Nakamoto, or whoever that person is, came up with in early 2009, and obviously we know that as a blockchain technology. Well, we're talking about internet here, right? And I did touch upon internet for a bit. So my question to you guys is the internet really decentralized? After looking at, let's say, the survivors. I mean, the survivors did have some internet. I mean, they still do have some internet, this thing. So is it decentralized, the internet? Yes, no? Allowed no? Allowed yes? What? All right, so internet in its real form was supposed to be decentralized. It's supposed to be, and that's the glitch. Or that's the problem with what we did with internet, or what everyone did with internet. Giants like Facebook, Google, Twitter, whatever you mention, in terms of the centralized systems, who are the giant houses or the superpowers on the internet right now, are actually the ones who are ruling the internet, and not the internet itself, because that's what's supposed to be the internet. Well, Bitclave, we're building a decentralized search ecosystem. We're making the internet a little decentralized. I'm not saying we're focusing on the entire decentralization, because that's going to be a huge, huge project. But this itself, search itself, is a huge project for us, and it's going to take a long, long time for just to make sure that we achieve what we want to achieve. So yeah, like it's mentioned, we are obviously wanting to get rid of the middlemen who have been making a lot of money, tons of money. Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, all these guys have massive, massive net worths. And you know what, guys? All that money has come from all of us. So, so this is an attempt where we want to make sure that we want to decentralize this, get rid of the middlemen, make internet a better place, move into a better world. And I think we are at that cusp with what has happened in the last 4 or 5 years. Do you agree? Yes? A big yes? Okay, awesome. So yeah, like I said, Google, Amazon, and Facebook, and more centralized systems won't be, today they will surely be able to compete with us because, they're awesome. People love them. You guys love them. I love them in some, this thing. But in the next 10 years, we're not going to see them. They're not be able to compete with any of the decentralized systems that will obviously be in the market, in the picture. So what powers Bitclave? Yes, blockchain, smart contracts, activity ledger, cryptography. To touch upon a few things over here a bit. We have an ecosystem, like a blockchain system itself called Base. And it's there in our white paper as well, just in case, if you all want to check. Base is nothing but Bitclave active search ecosystem. It's going to be on the similar lines of what Ethereum is. And that's what we'll be using to power all our products. Or should I say, dApps, decentralized apps. One of the things we'll be doing is disrupting the search industry as we speak. We're currently using Ethereum smart contracts for now. But we are still working on the Base ecosystem while we are using their platform. So that's essentially what we are wanting to do: get rid of the middlemen with the technologies mentioned here, and at the same time give users the control to their own data. And guess what? You can also get rewarded for the data you share with brands or anyone who wants that data. So that's one thing, and the entire ecosystem will be having a token called the CAT token, which is already in the market. We have raised $25 million on November 30th last year, and that happened in 32 seconds, by the way. The community has a huge amount of trust in us. We have 2 products right now, one in alpha, one in beta. So both the products will be launched in the first week of April. You will see more products coming on from our side. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with a thought, or my analogy with what the scenarios I spoke about earlier. So then it was a gold rush that I referred to, Johannesburg, 1880. And now it's the blockchain, right? Not 100% similar, but yes, in some way, yes, with all the speculation and what's happening around Bitcoin. And this, guys. Yes, we know you guys love Google, Facebook, and Amazon, but this is what is going to be the new internet. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, you may ask. No.
Is there any competitors?
Yeah, we do have competitors. Presearch being one of them. I don't know if you've heard of it. Presearch.io. So that's one of them. And then there are others who are in helping other industries. So let's say something like earn.com is into the like messaging and like getting airdrops and those kind of things. But Presearch is the closest one. But at the same time, I also want to touch upon Presearch. They don't have a product yet or a MVP to show the way we have. I mean, just an FYI. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, just a quick question.
Sure.
I mean, this is obviously my first blockchain conference. You say you guys raised how much?
$25 million.
And the market cap now is?
Sorry?
What is your market cap now?
Right now, so the total amount of tokens we have.
No, the dollar value is 14 million.
Yes, that's right.
How does it feel coming up to 25 million and then bouncing down to 14 million?
Okay, as a policy, we don't talk about the cap or the price rise or the fall. We focus more on the product. That's what we want to do. Yes, I mean, I do understand that the price rise is directly proportional to the products we're building and the weight, but we are doing our job and we are showing it off. Like we are talking about the things that we do every week, every day, and that's what we want to focus on rather than talking about the market cap or the price rise.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, is everything going according to plan, timescale-wise, against the roadmap at the moment?
Okay, so whatever I just shared with you about the products is that's all I can share right now. Verbally, yes, I can share things maybe offline, but we are not in terms of the legal framework that we are into, we cannot share a roadmap online or on a professional this thing level. So, but then yes, we do have products lined up. There's a lot of work going on. The developers are working day in and out. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Hi there. I just wanted to ask, it's one of the major issues is cybersecurity. How is the company sort of reflecting on that, and have you got anything sort of in the works to incorporate that into your business model?
Yeah, so security is the primary thing that we are dealing with, because we are talking about data and data of billions of people. At least from the ambition standpoint, to reach out to Google's users and like the Facebook users and stuff. So that is the prime thing. Incidentally, our founder has 20 years of experience in security. So he brings in that knowledge on the table. Also, he's recently worked on a crypto project, and that's also helping our cause. We do have a great team in place in terms of the dev part. So I think that will answer your question once we have the product in place. But we're making sure that security is on the top, like the top priority for now. Thank you.